Hello, this is Kwavi, life coach for women 50 and over, and the creator of Flourish. How are you today? I just wanted to come on, and I haven't been on in a while. I just wanted to really talk about goals for 2022, especially for women 50 and over, because sometimes it can be hard. It's not always that easy trying to achieve your goals when you're older. And listen, we still have a lot of goals that we want to achieve. So I want you to realize that regardless of your age, you can still achieve your goals. Don't let that discourage you from going after them. I'm just letting you know that they are still possible. And if you're on, I'd really love to hear from you. Just give me a thumbs up, a smile, a heart, something. I love hearing from the audience when I'm speaking. So, I am talking about goals. We're at that time of the year when people are planning all these different goals that they want to achieve. And that's great. Like, that is like the first step. Writing your goals down is like the first step. You need to do that. Now, how do you implement them? That is the second step. Like, you can write the goals down. And I really believe in writing goals. You know why? Because goals, when you write them down, it allows them to grow. Like, when you're writing it down, that's almost like planting a seed. When you write your goals down, you give them the ability to grow. Because most times we have a lot of goals in our heads. And you know what happens? We forget them. You don't remember. So when you write them down, it's almost a way for you to be accountable to yourself. Like, okay, I got this. But one of the most important things that I want you to pay attention to when creating the goals is, what are you thinking? What are you making these goals mean? What are your thoughts behind the goals? I don't care if you're trying to lose weight, if you're trying to make money, if you're trying to create, start a new relationship. If you haven't cleaned up your thoughts and decided what that is going to be, I'm going to tell you right now, it is not going to be sustainable. It's almost like you're fighting within yourself. And it's not uncommon when we hit 50 and over to kind of have this internal battle with ourselves where we're grappling with, oh, I still want to do this. But then there's a part of you that's pulling you back and saying, no, you're too old. You can't do that. I want to let you know that thought, it's too late, is a thought that you have to examine and find out for yourself if it serves you. Seriously, you get to decide. Is that a thought that you're like, oh, yes, that's true? Or do you want to challenge that thought and say, you know what? This thought doesn't serve me. And if it doesn't, what are you going to do about it? Because guess what? That thought is going to keep coming back over and over again. And it could be a very simple thought like, well, you're over 50. I don't think you're going to be able to lose that belly fat. It could be something as simple as that. And because you have seen so many places, because let's face it, this world is youth obsessed. Our culture is youth obsessed. So, as far as they're concerned, when you hit a certain age, losing weight is not an option for you, or belly fat is the norm. And they have all these different things that society pushes towards you. And you get to decide if you want to believe it or not. It doesn't have to be the norm. People are losing weight over 50. People are losing belly fat after 50. So you get to decide which of those thoughts is true for you. Which of them do you want to believe? Is that beneficial to you in order for you to achieve your goal? Is it beneficial for you to think that thought? Because I'm going to tell you that even if you have a personal trainer, you're following a certain plan, or you're doing all these different things, if you are not believing in your mind that is possible for you, you know what's going to end up happening? After a while, you're going to get discouraged. Because if you don't have an anchor thought, I like to call it an anchor thought. An anchor thought is a thought that kind of holds you down during times when you're going to see those obstacles. And so if you don't have an anchor thought holding you down, you know what's going to happen? Something like an obstacle comes up. It could be, oh, the weather, it's too cold. I can't go out, to the gym. Or it could be just simple thing like, oh, someone is having an event. I can't eat what. And guess what? Throws you off. And you know what you end up doing? Nothing. And before you know it, a week has passed, 2 weeks have passed, and you're back to square one where you were before you started your goal. So finding people to help you along, that's all well and good. But what I want you to do is I want you to be able to really have that thought strong in your mind. Like, why do you, first of all, why do you want to achieve that goal? And whatever the reason is, have a thought that propels you, because every thought you have in your mind is going to cause a feeling. And that feeling is either going to propel you towards your result or move you away. Because whatever feelings you have trigger an action or inaction. And depending on the action or inaction, you're going to see the result always. And so my thing that I really want to share with you is your thoughts. Your thoughts are powerful, more powerful than you realize. Seriously, they're more powerful than you realize. And that's one of the things I share with my women in 50 Shades of Over 50. I want women 50 and over to realize that they can achieve whatever goal they want. But the key is believing it. So it's not enough for you to say, oh, I'm just going to think these thoughts. I'm just going to be, I'm going to have positive thoughts. Yeah, you can have positive thoughts, but do you believe those positive thoughts? That's key. Because if you don't believe the thoughts, nothing is going to happen. Nothing. And so it's important that you believe that you really believe that this is what's going to happen. One of the things I am doing this year is and I haven't done it in 4 years, I'm going to host a vision board social. The vision board social is an event where I guide women to use visual representations of their goals. And we cover different areas of their life. We cover health, we cover business, we cover, your career, we cover relationships, we cover spirituality, we cover, just the fun part of your life. So we cover all these different areas. And you decide what your goals are for these different areas. And we use it as a visual, we do a visual representation of it. So it's a vision board and it describes to you what the goals you want coming in 2022. Now, it's a very powerful exercise. I think it's probably one of the most powerful exercises you can do with your mind in terms of achieving your goal. But there is a piece that's really important that people tend to forget. The next step, which is, how do I achieve these goals that are on this board? What I'm doing with my vision board social on September. Listen, I'm going back to September or moving ahead. What I'm going to be doing with my vision board social on January the 30th, which is a Sunday in Atlanta, is in addition to guiding and facilitating the vision board social, where we're going to be having fresh juice, champagne, and healthy appetizers, I will also be offering all the participants a one-on-one session where they're going to select 3 of their top goals, and I'm going to show them how to implement those top 3 goals for the year 2022. And so if it's something you're interested in, I'm going to actually put the site here so that if you're interested, you can go and take a look. But my goal is I want more women in their 50s and over to achieve their goals. I want more women in their 50s and over to really rediscover their purpose and passion. And I know sometimes I have women that come to me and they're like, well, Kwame, I'm not sure what I want. I'm not sure if I have a passion or if I have a purpose. I just want to let you know right now, if you're listening to this, we all have a purpose. We all have a passion in life. We all do. And so I want you to be able to achieve that. And if you are struggling with trying to figure that out, I want to help you. So I'm going to put on here, I just put on the link for the vision board social so that you can see it. And actually, what do I should do? Let me do this. Oops, sorry. I clicked something else. Let me put this so that you know actually that's what it is. Because I really, honestly, every woman has a purpose. Every woman has a passion. What ends up happening is we've done so much for others. For some of us, our kids are now older. Maybe they're in college. Maybe they're grown. Maybe you're a grandmother. We're working. We're no longer working. Or we've noticed that the job situation is a bit different now. Maybe we're being overlooked. So we're not really getting the jobs that we want. And sometimes, it just relationships are changing. In some cases, Divorces are happening, separations are happening. Some people are remarrying. I mean, there are all types of different dynamics happening in the in the relationship space. And so, with all of that, as a woman, you get to you get to a point where you begin to question your worth. Now, I want to share with you that your worth does not change based on what you do or do not do. And I think for a lot of us, taking care of kids, we kind of found, or, if you had, with your spouse and your work, we kind of did a lot of that. And for a lot of us, we determined our worth based on the things that we were doing or not doing. I want to tell you, sis, your worth is intact. Your worthiness is not determined by what you do or do not do. Your worthiness is intact from the day you were born and is the same way until you die. Just want to let you know. But I know we get into our heads or we start to think, oh, I can't do that anymore. It's too late for me. I'm not worthy. I'm like, listen, I want you to realize that you are worthy. You are worthy beyond the measure. Do not question that. And I know your brain is going to go there because that's how the brain is. The brain is designed to be efficient. And if this is a thought you've had for a long time, your brain is going to go there. But I want to let you know that you don't have to do that. Your brain, we're going to retrain your brain to think differently. We're going to retrain your brain so that it brings up thoughts that serve you. And the ones that don't, you get to question them. It doesn't matter that you've thought it for such a long time because that's what a belief is. A belief is a thought you've thought over and over again, even if it's not true. So you might have a thought that you've had in your brain that you're thinking, oh, this is true. Listen, question it. Decide for yourself. Is that really true? Like, I mean, I know growing up, I didn't have women in their 50s and over to look up to. So, getting to 50, I was like, I'm going to have to do this for myself. And that's what I want to. I want to be an example to the young women coming up who have no clue about getting older. As far as they're concerned, they're going to remain young forever. And I don't blame them thinking that way. I thought so. I didn't really grapple with the concept of, oh, okay, I'm going to get older. And so it's okay. But I want us to be examples where they now start to see us and they're like, whoa, look at her. She's in her 50s. Look at what they're up to. She's in her 70s. Look at what she's up to. And you're like, whoa, listen, I have a 72-year-old client. Oh my goodness. The thing she's doing, phenomenal. Our world is changing. Don't let society determine for you what you can or cannot do. I'm telling you, you're going to have regrets at the end if you do that. I'm telling you, you will, because I know that there is something within you that you want to achieve. And you're probably wondering, oh, can I do it? Should I do it? And you know why you're doing that? Because you have bought into this concept that society has been feeding you that you no longer matter once you hit a certain age. And I'm here to tell you that you still matter. You are still worthy. You still have a lot to offer society. Listen, don't buy into that norm. We're changing the norm. We're changing the norm where we are shaking up things. We are standing up. We are rocking our 50s and beyond in our own way. Over 50 doesn't come in a one size fits all. We're all different. We're all different. Over 50 comes in however you want it to feel for you. You get to determine that. It's not a one size fits all. And I just want to share with you that I want you to realize that you have the power to determine how this next chapter of your life is going to be. And I'll tell you this, your best lives are not behind you. Your best life is ahead of you. Yeah. Your best years are yet to be experienced. I'm serious. Because you know what? You get to determine that. You can design that. You get to create how this next chapter is going to be. And so I really want you to think more about this. And if you have questions about this and you want to know more about this, goodness, I'm thirsty. Hold up. And if you want to know more about this, I encourage you, send me a message. You can either send me a message on YouTube or Facebook, wherever you're listening to this to. Sorry. And I have a free consult. And so if that's something of interest, I'm going to put the free consult link here so that if you're interested, you can send me a message. I'd love to connect with you. And it's a free session. 20 minutes. You tell me what's going on with you, how I can help you, and I tell you how I can help you. No obligation, nothing. It's a free 20-minute call. And so I'm going to share that with you also. Oops. Okay. So I just shared my vision board social event with you. So you can, if you're interested in coming to the vision board social, if you're in Atlanta or if you're outside of Atlanta, I have people coming from out of town. There are links about the hotels that are close by if you want to come, or if you have family here and you just want to make a visit out of it. I invite you to come. It's going to be a fun event. It's in a beautiful place. The space is amazing. And I provide all the supplies. You get to just dream for 2 hours. Now, I'm going to say this. How many of you have had the chance to dream for 2 hours? Probably none. None of you. Because our time is like we're constantly scheduling things back to back to back to back to back. I want you to start this year off in a way where you feel empowered, where you feel that you're on track to meet your goals, that you're able to step out and take action, that you're actually taking steps towards your goal. That is what I want for you. Because it's an amazing, listen, that feeling is priceless. Last year, let me bring it up. In 2021, I had this goal of mine. I had a goal of mine from like when I was 16. And my goal was to participate in a beauty pageant. And this was when I was 16, but I didn't do it. Kind of like thought about it. I was like, nah, I won't do it. And then I had an opportunity to participate and I decided, okay, should I do it? And it's funny, as soon as I did it, I was like, oh my goodness, what have I done? And then I thought to myself, just you've done it. Let's just do it. And then while I was getting ready I started doing some research and I found that majority of the women that participate in pageants are white. I thought to myself, okay. And then I started doing more research. I found that majority of people that participate in pageants are young. I'm like, okay, all right, I'm kind of older, on the older side. And then I started researching. I found that most participants have long hair, and not just long hair, long blonde hair. I'm like, okay, Kwavi, you are none of those things. I was like, how am I going to make? And so, doubts crept into my mind. And it's interesting I say that because sometimes I meet friends of mine, they're like, Kwavi, you're always so confident. No, I am human, just like you. I have doubts in my mind constantly. The difference is I have the doubt and I go ahead anyway. That's what I do. It's like, oh, I'll do it anyway. So I decided to participate. So this was in October. And guess what happened? And so I won this. I'm going to show you it's in the case. I won this. See my case with my I won this. Yeah, this is my crown. Oops. Looks crooked. Yeah, that's my crown. And so I won this. And so I'm now the Miss Georgia Classic Continental. Okay, there you get a better glimpse of it. Miss Georgia Global Continental. And I will be going to Florida in June for nationals. Listen, when I did that, I just wanted to achieve a goal that had been on my mind for a long time. And I just and there were times when I thought, Kwavi, you're kind of older for this now. And do you really want to do this? I decided, you know what, I'm going to do it anyway because it had been something I'd wanted to do. And I want to get to the end of my life with no regrets. Or even if I do have as few as possible. I would have been regretting this, but I've done it now. And I'm like, and regardless of what happens at nationals, guess what? I did the pageant. I'm done. So I'm like, yes, I did it. I know there are some goals in your mind right now that you've kind of pushed down, suppressed, but it keeps bubbling to the surface. You owe it to yourself to at least take action. Now, I don't know what's going to happen if you're going to achieve the goal or not, but I do know one thing. You will be able to check it off and say, you know what? I did that. I know that you're not going to get to the end and regret, oh, I didn't try that. I really wanted to do that. You're not going to have that because you did it. And so pageants might not be your thing, but I know there's a goal of yours that you've been suppressing, maybe even goals, not just one, you've been suppressing that you need to let out, that you need to birth out into the world. I truly encourage you to do that. And if you're interested in um, scheduling a one-on-one with me, like let me pull it up actually. Sorry. Let me pull that up. If you're interested in, oops, what did I do here, Kwavi? Yeah. Sorry. And if you're interested in scheduling a one-on-one call with me, I'm also going to leave that link for you. So I'm really excited that I had this is my first time of doing this. I decided, you know what, I'm just going to start doing YouTube lives and Facebook lives again. I haven't done them in a long time. So if you're listening to this, thank you for listening. I really appreciate it. And you listen, send me questions like, what do you want to know more about? My online community is called Flourish. And in Flourish, we cover all the different we cover different aspects of different things that happen in a woman's life when she hits 50 and over, like the different aspects of life. So we cover relationships, we cover health and wellness, we cover sleep, we cover your confidence, how you show up in the world. And and we cover finance, your relationship with money. And we cover these aspects because I know that women are struggling with this, especially women 50 and over. And my goal is to really help you to really overcome that struggle and feeling that you're all alone and help you navigate. Because I'm telling you, the streets, midlife streets, are tough. It's hard. It's a struggle. It's overwhelming at times. And so my goal is to really help you so that you can figure this thing out and be empowered in the process. I want you to be able to know that, yes, you got this, you can do this. But I know that it's hard sometimes. And so that's where I come in, because I know that sometimes you try to do this alone and you're not being successful. And so that's what I do in Flourish. So I encourage you, there's a link for the vision board. And let me do this. I will put down, let me get this link for you. If you want to schedule a free consult with me, I will send that also. I just copied it. Let me put it here. Free 20-minute session with me. Let me put that in. Okay, let's see. I'm typing it in. Okay, I put that in. Okay, so I did that. All right, ladies. Thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate it. And if you have any questions, post your questions. I'd love to see them. All right, take care, everyone. Bye.